Hello, everybody. Tim here, along with
Hello, Maggie.
Maggie. And we are here to discuss something magical and mystical today. We're going to be talking about our top 10 movies of 2018. It's finally here. Maggie, are you excited?
No, not really. 2018 was not a great year. Like, to be honest, we were just listening to our video from last year, so talking about 2017, and the movies were just, like, better.
Better, yeah.
And I think that's why I had a really hard time with this list, because everything was just good.
Yeah.
And there was nothing that was, like, amazing.
This is true.
So,
I do want to give a quick shout out to some worst movies. We are not doing our worst of the year this year because, a separate video because Maggie didn't want to do that.
well, I also didn't see a majority of the worst of the year movies because
They're terrible.
they're bad, and I didn't want to waste my time.
But I do want to give a quick shout out to a few movies that I absolutely hated. So my top 10 worst of the year, just very quickly: Proud Mary, Robin Hood,
That was bad. I slept through that.
Welcome to Shitwin,
Yep.
Truth or Dare, Pacific Rim Uprising,
That was bad.
Gringo,
Yeah, that was bad.
Acrimony, A Wrinkle in Time, The First Purge, and my most hated film of the year, The 1517 to Paris.
The First Purge is your second most hated film?
I did not like that film.
Wow.
Yeah, so I did want to give a quick shout out to those movies because they're terrible. Don't see them or see them. Some of them are laughably bad, but most of them
I'd say
are
The
just...
First Purge is laughably bad. I feel like we had a good time.
We had a better time reviewing it than watching it. But anyway, so we're here to talk about top 10, though. And on that note, we are going to be doing this in the style of the Top 10 show, which is hosted by John Roca and Matt Nost. I've got their info in the bio, so take a look at that. They do a show every week, every Tuesday, called the Top 10 Show, where they have a different topic, and they make a list and whatnot. They do top 10 lists. That's the gist. So this is going to be in the style of that show. So what we're going to do is Maggie's going to do like her 10 through 8, then I'll do my 10 through 8, and then our 7 through 5, and then we will trade one apiece until we hit our top 10s and everything is magical and good in the world again. And then we get to do it all over again in 2019. So if somebody happens to have a movie on the list, so let's say Maggie has, what's a movie that came out this year? Isle of Dogs. Let's say she has Isle of Dogs on her top 10 list. And for her, it's number 8. But for me, it's number 4. When she says it at 8, I will say, punt. We are not going to talk about it then. We will wait to talk about it until we get to my number 4, as that is the higher number. So that is how we are going to do this. I think that makes sense for everybody. Anyway, all right. So, without further ado, let's get started, Maggie. 2018 movies. Like you said, it was an okay year. A Mag year.
Yeah.
There are a lot of good movies, just not the movies I expected to be good.
Well, yeah.
Oh, and we will talk about honorable mentions, either as they're brought up, or if one of us doesn't have the other, or at the end, we will spout off some honorable mentions. So, get us started, Maggie. Number 10.
My number 10 is The Miseducation of Cameron Post.
That is an honorable mention for me.
Yeah. So it was really good, obviously. I really did not know what it was about at all when we saw it. And it was a nice little film. It was a good time spent. The performances were really good, and I thought the story was pretty compelling. And the ending was good.
It's a much better version of Boy Erased.
Basically. It's the, much better girl version of Boy Erased.
Yeah, everybody saw, well, nobody saw Boy Erased, but the majority of people like us who seek these films out saw Boy Erased. Nobody really saw Miseducation of Cameron Post. The only reason we saw it is because we got to go see it for free at the theater I work at. So that was but no, I agree. It's a great movie. It wasn't my top 10 of the year for a long time. I actually gave this movie a perfect score. I gave it a 5 out of 5.
It's very good.
But it's not in my top 10 because it's not a incredibly rewatchable film.
I would agree.
In my opinion, I've only seen it the once, so I guess I can't really confirm that. It's pretty hard to track down on Blu-ray right now. You can get it on Amazon or Best Buy, but it's pretty expensive. So I'm waiting until it drops in price a bit to pick it up. But yeah, no, it's a good one. I enjoyed it quite a bit. Yeah. Number 9.
My number 9 is the film we just finished watching, Halloween.
Ooh. Honorable mention as well for me. This is going to be interesting. Okay. All right. Yeah. No. Go ahead. Talk about it.
I mean, a lot of these movies, I would say, and in general, my favorite movies tend to be the ones where like I get really hyped about them because it's some franchise that I really enjoy.
Sure.
And I thought this movie was awesome. Like when we saw it in the theater, I was so pumped, and when we left the theater, I was so pumped. And it was one of the few movies that we actually saw more than once this year.
Yeah.
We did a lot less rewatching in the theater this year, and yeah, it's a good time for people who like Halloween, and it's a good horror movie. It doesn't rely on the jump scares, and it's good stuff.
Yeah, no, I love this movie. I think initially I kind of forced myself to love it a little too much in the sense that like we walked out of it and I wanted it to be so good. I wanted it to be so perfect. I gave it the 5 out of 5. I was saying how great it was. And then upon rewatching it and thinking about it more, I'm like, it's not the perfect horror movie I wanted it to be. So I dropped my grade down to a 4 out of 5, but it's still perfectly enjoyable. Jamie Lee Curtis is great in the movie. Michael Myers is the best that he's been since the original. So it's definitely a good movie, a movie I like, and a movie I can see us rewatching quite a bit. Right. But there are a couple major things that happen in the movie that still bother me, and I don't know if we're talking spoilers or not.
Well, just say spoilers for Halloween.
Yeah, okay, I don't need to spoil it, though. There's something that happens in the middle of the movie that every time I've watched it, it's rubbed me the wrong way. And if you've seen the movie, and you know what I'm talking about, but it's still a fun movie. It's in my top 20. It just didn't hit the top 10.
Yep. All right, so now my number 8. My number 8, this might surprise you, but I actually really like this movie, Annihilation. Yeah, I know.
Okay, so Annihilation again is not in my top 10.
What?
It's in
What's happening?
It's in my top 20 again, but yeah, no, it's not in my top 10. I love this movie.
It was
Go ahead.
so pretty, and it was so compelling. It was like tense and scary, but at the same time, like super interesting. Like it was a really good like thriller sci-fi mystery.
Yeah.
Like it was just like a mashup of all those genres. And Natalie Portman is excellent, and Oscar Isaac is excellent. And like it's a weird
Gina
movie.
Rodriguez.
Yes.
What's the
girl from I can't remember. From Thor. I forget her name.
Oh, Tessa Thompson. Thank you, Jesus.
And but they're all excellent, and it is a weird movie. The end happened, and I was like, not like the end, but there's like the climax.
The climax.
Of the movie.
Yeah.
It's strange. It's really strange.
It's out there.
But I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really, really good.
It has one of the most memorable horror scenes.
Yes.
Of the entire year.
For sure.
Yeah, no, I love this movie.
I thought it was super creative.
Yeah.
And
it just goes back to that thing where like Ex Machina. So this is from the Alex Garland. Yeah. Ex Machina was my second favorite film of 2015. Had The Force Awakens not come out that year, Ex Machina would have been my favorite movie of the year. So I was really looking forward to Annihilation. This came out back in February, so it's been almost a year. And another movie where I gave it the 5 out of 5 initially watching it, and then upon reviewing it or revisiting it, I've dropped it down to the 4 only again because of its rewatchability factor. I think it probably is as near to perfect for sci-fi as you can get. It's a really, really great movie. I've seen it twice. I saw it the once in the theater.
I only saw it the one time.
Yeah,
so
the 4K Blu-ray is phenomenal. It looks spectacular. But yeah, no, I don't have anything really negative to say about it other than the fact that it's a challenging watch. So if you're not up to that, then that could be like for most people.
Yeah, I would say personally though, I would rather watch Annihilation than Ex Machina. And I don't know if that's only because like I've already seen Ex Machina like 2 or 3 times.
Sure.
And I'd rather watch this newer movie. But at the same time, I don't know, I just liked it more. I don't know.
They're different. I mean, Ex Machina is
They have the same kind of vibe.
Well,
in different ways.
In very different ways. Ex Machina is a small film.
Right.
Annihilation is a grand. It feels big. And it's a crime it didn't make more money at the box office, but it also came out the week after Black Panther. So there was no stopping that. So, yeah. Wow. Three good choices already. 2 excellent choices. But, yeah, okay, shit. This is going to be weird. So, my number 10...
questioning.
Yeah, I've been struggling with this all week. I'm gonna go with number 10. If Beale Street Could Talk.
Well, I guess technically, are we doing the punt thing?
We're doing the punt thing.
Then we're punting.
Okay, so it is higher for you.
Yeah.
So we will talk about it later. So my number 9 is Ralph Breaks the Internet. Wreck-It Ralph 2.
Yeah, that's
not on your list. I loved this movie.
I enjoyed it. Yeah.
I was surprised how much I loved Ralph Breaks the Internet. It was the first animated film of the year that made me like really, I don't know, just like happy and joyful while watching it. Incredibles 2 was good. Isle of Dogs was good. Other animated movies, which I'm sure we'll talk about later, are good. But this one, when it initially came out in the beginning of November, I think it was Thanksgiving. It was Thanksgiving. I just had a blast watching it. I thought it was such an improvement over the first one. I loved the relationship between Vanellope and Ralph, as well as Gal Gadot's character, the race car driver coming in, and the whole internet thing. I just thought it was hilarious. I thought the movie overall looked gorgeous. And I thought it was just such a better movie than that first one, which I've seen it 3 times. I saw it in the theater and then a couple times on Blu-ray, and we rewatched it before going to see this new one. And it's fine. Like, I don't know how you feel about the first Wreck-It Ralph.
My problem with this one is that it's very 2018.
Sure.
So, like, I feel like when people watch it 10 years from now,
that's definitely possible.
It's going to be dated because it's very much in like this year. Like, I feel like there's a lot of like inside joke type of things with like internet things that are like a thing now that might not be in the future. And then the other thing was the end. The like, I don't know if we should, I mean, it's not really a spoiler, but do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
Okay. Well, what happens is there's like this monster thing, basically.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And it made me really uncomfortable.
Sure, okay.
Completely honest.
Yes,
it was really weird.
I've heard that complaint that the climax of the movie, the monster that they're fighting, like, yes. I understand that. I do get that complaint. It didn't really bother me that much. It's a kids animated movie. I don't think it was meant to be creepy and weird, but I understand. But it sure was. Well, but at the same time, maybe it was meant to be creepy and weird because it's the villain. So I do understand. That's another complaint other people have given me or told me about the movie is there isn't really a villain. But yes and no, Ralph is kind of actually the villain in a weird, twisted way. But I think it's a great movie. I think the message is really good too.
Yeah, I would agree.
I love this movie. Yeah. So yeah. Ralph Breaks the Internet is number 9. Okay, so my number 8, which is going to crush some spirits in this room.
Oh boy.
A Star Is Born.
Yeah, we're punting.
We are going to punt. Okay, so then let's go to your number 8.
My number.
Or no, your number 7. I'm sorry.
So this wasn't very far, but my number 7 is If Beale Street Could Talk.
Okay, yeah, sure. So yeah, we just saw this like a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago. Yeah.
It was surprising how much I liked it, to be honest.
No, me too.
Because I really, like, Moonlight was good, but it just wasn't for me, I guess. Like, I don't know if it's because we watched it too late, because we watched it after the hype train had begun.
It had already won its Golden Globes, and it hadn't been at the Oscars yet. But
I think we knew it was nominated. And so, like, I feel like we just saw it too late. Or something, I don't know.
Upon revisiting Moonlight, I've liked it more. I've seen it twice, and I saw it with you the first time. And the second time I watched it right before last year's Oscars. I tend to watch the previous year's Best Picture winner before the Oscars. So revisiting Moonlight, I liked it a lot more.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would agree with you. I think it's a good movie. I don't think it's this masterpiece. But I understand why it won the Best Picture Oscar. It just wasn't.
Yeah,
our type
but
of
anyway,
movie.
If Beale Street Could Talk, I liked it a lot more. There's I know there's clearly a plot in Moonlight, but like it's more of a coming of age thing, which tend to have less plot. This one had a much clearer plot, and I thought the performances were really good, and I was really captivated by specifically the main character. I can't think of her name right now.
The character's name or the actress's name?
The character's name.
I don't remember
but
either.
In general, like the struggles that she's going through, she's like what, 19 or something, and she's trying to like get a handle on life. She's now pregnant, and her the father of the baby's in jail, and she's trying to wrap her mind around this new world that she's in.
Yeah.
And obviously, all the things that are happening at the time the movie took place. I think it was the 70s.
70s or 80s.
Or 80s.
Or no, maybe 60s or 70s.
It was in a time, yeah. Anyway, but I thought that was really good. And there were other like side things that were pretty good. There was one scene that I thought was just kind of random and unnecessary, but it wasn't bad. But I thought the commentary between the guy from Widows,
Brian Tyler,
when he was sitting down talking about his time in prison, that was really intense, and I liked the way that Barry Jenkins handled that with then the like her being like, "Are you guys ready for dinner?" And then it just like ended. I thought it was really
powerful.
Really powerful.
Yeah.
I liked it a lot. And even like the ending scene, like I don't know, I liked it a lot. And then the apartment scene obviously is the other one that a lot of people talk about.
With Dave Franco?
No,
at the beginning of the movie. Yeah.
Where you see all the different family dynamics, and that really introduces you to how the movie's gonna go, and like where Tish is in her life, and what I came up with it.
There you go.
Where she is going forward and what she's gonna be facing. And I thought that it was funny and heartfelt and stressful all at the same time.
Yeah. I'm shocked how much I loved this movie. I'm kind of on the same boat as you. The only reason I put it at number 10 and have it lower is honestly the middle of the movie dips and drags a bit, but it's still powerful. It just doesn't it doesn't have as much kick as the first act and the third act.
Yeah.
But especially the first act. The first act of this movie is firing on all cylinders. The acting, everything is just perfect. It dips a bit. It comes back up a little bit for its third act, but it's not as good as the first one. But the final moments, the message that the movie is getting across is fantastic. And of all of the movies this year that are kind of giving, well, not the same message, but a similar message of If Beale Street Could Talk, Black Klansman, Black Panther, these movies, this was my favorite of those movies. Mm-hmm. And honestly, the only reason it's not higher is because it did drag a bit in the middle.
It did, yeah.
So, there you go. So that was your 7, my 10.
Yes.
Beale
so
Street.
My number 6 is one of the movies you just mentioned, Black Klansman. I really liked this movie.
Okay.
I know you did not like it as much.
I liked it.
I really enjoyed the performances. The main character, the actor, something.
Ron Stallworth.
Yeah, no, what is the actor's name? It's something.
Oh, John David Washington.
John David Washington. I thought he was excellent.
Yeah.
And obviously Adam Driver was good too. Topher Grace, he was just like there
really
doing
good.
His thing. And I just thought that it was really entertaining to watch. It was funny, but I was also stressed out at the same time. And really, I just enjoyed it a lot.
And I think I might just need to revisit Black Klansman. Maybe after, maybe. I've been very open about my problem with Black Klansman.
Yeah.
I think Black Klansman is a near perfect movie until the last 15 minutes. And for me, and I know, I'm completely open to saying that I just don't like it when movies beat me over a head with a message. If you sprinkle stuff in there, and I'm sorry, let me rephrase, a political biased message. I have a review for Vice coming out, honestly, later tonight, and I talk about that in my review for Vice, how that movie did that. And this one was very good about just sprinkling stuff in, like you have Topher Grace, like on the nose saying, "Make America Great Again." And like that type of stuff, fine, sprinkle that in there. But the just like blatant, like, "Hey guys, did you get what I was saying the whole movie? Did you get it? Did you get it? Well, here's 7 minutes of stuff going on today that is showing you my point." And it's like, no, I get it. Like, Spike, you did a great job of showing me that through the movie. I'm not an idiot. I don't need you to spell it out for me. I get it. And that really bothered me at the end because it made me feel dumb. It made me feel like the movie was telling me I was stupid and that it needed to explain itself to me, when I think the movie itself did a fine job of that. So I think you take off those last 7 minutes of the movie and it's almost a perfect movie. And I feel like I feel bad saying that it's not in my top 10 just because of that. But it really is. Like, it really rubbed me the wrong way when it ended.
I mean, it didn't bother me as much as it bothered you. Like, honestly, I thought it tied it in well. Like, I got that it was unnecessary, but I thought that it tied it in well, and I thought that it added to the power of the message, to be completely
honest. A lot of people do think that.
Well, and there are a lot of people on your side, too. It's really just whatever sort of mindset you're in, I think, when you see the movie, and maybe that sort of thing has to do with it, too.
The movie is really good, though.
But it's so good. I liked the humor.
Oh, yeah.
And it just was so entertaining.
Performances are incredible.
Where, like, Beale Street's, like, it has funny moments, but
the movie's not a comedy.
But it's not. It's a solid drama.
Yeah.
Where this is, there's still
it's a dark comedy.
Moments. Yeah.
It's a dark comedy.
But
he plays off of really scary, crazy stuff for laughs sometimes, because there's nothing you can do but laugh at how outrageous some of this stuff is, for sure. All right. So that was your 6?
Yeah.
So your 5.
So my 5 is Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Is it really?
Yeah.
That's my number 7.
Okay.
So we can talk about it.
We just rewatched it in the theater. We saw it in 3D like 5 days ago.
On our honeymoon.
And because we had to see movies on our honeymoon.
Of course.
I liked it so much better
the second time. Yeah.
Like, I was able to just, like, sit back and watch the movie for what it was, where, I don't know, the hype train really gets me sometimes.
Yeah.
Where, like, before we saw this movie, it was coming out, it had, like, the 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. Everyone was saying it was the best Spider-Man movie ever. Everyone was saying it's, like, completely revolutionizing the genre, which I think it totally did, in terms of, like, the art and the drawing, and it making it look like a comic book and, like, be like a comic book, which is obviously a huge part of it. But in general, I just, like, really liked Miles, and like and like just watching the movie again, and like just how he's just like hanging out and just saying things. And I love Jake Johnson so much, and I think he does a really good job of voicing Peter in this movie, and their chemistry is just really solid. My really big but my biggest complaint is that I feel like the extra 3 Spider people, the Noir one.
Spider Noir,
and then the
Penny Parker and Spider-Ham.
I thought they were really just shoved in to be like, hey, look, we know the obscure things. Like, that's really how it felt to me, because they were barely in the movie. They come in like 3/4 of the way through, and they're just there to get a laugh because you keep doing the redoing of the introducing, and that's funny.
That is hilarious. Oh my god.
I mean, it's funny, but at the same time, I was like, can we just like keep going? And I really thought that like Miles and Gwen and Peter was enough. I thought that we got the chemistry there that we needed, and that I get why they were there, but at the same time I was like, they really didn't need to be
Spider-Man
there.
Noir has one of the
best, is hilarious,
one of the best scenes in the whole, or lines in the whole movie, when he's when there has the match and he's like, I light the match and let it burn to my fingertips just to feel something. Like, that is hilarious. Like,
I get like why they're there, because obviously like Into the Spider-Verse, so you need to show that it was more than like 2 dimensions, so having it be 5 is a bigger deal and
6.
Gets the point across. What?
Well, I guess if you include Miles, 6.
Right, I wasn't including.
I'm sorry. Anyway,
but
for me, this was at a number 10 for a while, and I honestly put it at number 10 because everybody was pressuring me. Not everybody, like nobody was literally pressuring me, but I just felt pressured by everybody because everybody loves this movie so much. I'm like, well, I guess it has to be in my top 10 of the year. We saw it again, and like she said, I don't know what it was, but maybe it was because we were drinking that day. I just loved it so much more the second time. I really did. Miles is such a good character, and I haven't read a ton of Miles Morales Spider-Man because I don't really read comic books anymore. But they just did a great version of Miles in the PS4 Spider-Man game. But this Miles in this movie is awesome, and I can't think of the actor's name who voices him, who's in Dope. But his voice is great, and like you said, Jake Johnson as Peter B. Parker is great. When he does the "all right, let's do this one last time," and he does his whole Spider-Man intro, that scene is awesome. That is one of the best scenes in the movie. And then also going to Chris Pine as regular normal Peter Parker with the Spider Bells, isn't that what it is?
Yes.
The Christmas album. It's great with a questionable ice creams, whatever it was. That the whole movie, it's so funny. It's so smartly written. It subverts expectations with the Spider-Man lore too, having stuff like Doc Ock in the movie, but it's not really. It's not the Doc Ock that I know of, at least. So there's just a lot of really fun stuff in the movie. Upon reviewing it, upon rewatching it, I just pushed it up a few spots in my list because, I just had a blast with it. It's really, really fun. I don't know if it's the best Spider-Man movie, but it could be upon more watching. Like, I think it could be. Yeah, excellent movie. So that was your number 5. Correct. So we'll go, and then that was my 7. So my 6 is a movie. I think it's the only movie on my list you haven't seen. Oh. And that's Vox Lux. Correct. So I will gush about this movie for just a few moments. Vox Lux is a movie that, by all means, is probably not that good, but I love it, and I gave it a 5 out of 5. This is the one where I gave it a 4 out of 5, and then upon thinking about it more and more, I gave it the 5 out of 5. I can't wait to show it to her, even though I spoiled the whole thing and told her everything about it. I really loved this movie. Like I said, by all accounts, it's probably not that great of a movie, but it just stuck in my brain for days after watching it. I could not stop thinking about it. There's this twisted sense of dread the whole movie, and if you've seen it and you know the twist at the end, it completely shocked me. It wasn't what I would expected at all. I thought Natalie Portman was great. I need to remember actresses' names, but the girl who played young Natalie Portman, young Celeste, and then she also played Celeste's daughter, so Natalie Portman's daughter. So she played 2 roles. She was great in the movie. Jude Law is great in the movie. Overall, it's really an interesting movie. I can't say that I'm gonna rewatch this 1,000 times, but it definitely, this is the movie on my list that stuck with me. That's probably the one that I'm not going to rewatch a lot, but it stuck with me, and it's going to stay with me for a while. So I really like Vox Lux. Right. Yeah. Okay. So that was my number 6. So my number 5 is a movie I know is not going to be on your list, but but I love this movie. I saw this movie back in March. I saw it with you. We saw 3 movies in one day. We saw Death Wish, starring Bruce Willis, and then we saw The Strangers Pray at Night, and then we saw Thoroughbreds, and that's my number 5. I love this movie so friggin' much. I've watched it 2 or 3 times on Blu-ray since it's come out. I think the performances are so good in this movie, and I think it's one of the most underrated movies of the year. Anton Yelchin, in one of his last performances, he's incredible. It's short; it's only 90 minutes, so it's an easy watch. And it's kind of in the sense of that Black Klansman, where the subject matter is really twisted and dark, but it's played for comedy a lot. And I love this movie. I think it's absolutely wonderful.
Yeah, it was really dark, like you said. And I think it's been a while, and I only saw it the one time, so there's not a whole lot I can say about it other than I remember the 2 girls and Anton Yelchin being really good in the movie. I can't remember the end, but I have this feeling I didn't like it. Was it uncertain or something? Unclear? Maybe I'm just being crazy. I don't know. I feel I need to rewatch it. But yeah, I mean,
Anya Taylor-Joy
she's so good. She's going to have an amazing career.
Bless her. I love her. Yeah. Between The Witch and then this and Split, she'll be in Glass, which is coming out next week. So, Yeah, love her. And what is it? I think it's Olivia Cook.
Yes, she's really good too.
She was also in Ready Player One, which I'm sorry if it's in your top 10, but is in my honorable mentions. I loved her in that movie as well. So yeah, she was in something else this year too.
She was, but I don't know.
I can't think, but she had a good year, Olivia Cook. So anyway, Thoroughbreds, really loved it. Not a lot of people saw it, so if you haven't seen it, check out Thoroughbreds. Highly recommend it. It's great.
Yes.
Okay, so now we'll trade one apiece.
All right.
Your number 4, my lady.
So this might surprise you because it's different from when we last talked about it. Because I changed a bunch of stuff around today. So my number 4 is A Star Is Born.
That does surprise me.
I know.
Like a lot. I thought that was going to be your number 1.
It was my number 1 for a really long time.
Okay, so that was my 8.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say my, because it's lower for me, I'm going to say my thing about it quick. I did have it at number 10. I moved it up to 8 and moved Beale Street and Ralph down 1. And the reason is, same kind of thing I was saying with Beale Street. The first act of this movie, not even the first act, like the first hour of the 2-hour movie is perfect. I really genuinely believe that. I think from a directing, writing, performances, music, everything is perfect. The middle part of the movie, I think, kind of stinks. I'm not going to lie. I don't really like it. And I've only seen it once, but I really did not like the middle portion of the movie. But that being said, it ends on such a powerful, high note that I've seen the ending many times because I work in a movie theater and I had to clean up the movie afterwards. So I've seen the ending a lot, and I think the ending, the third act in general, is also near perfect. So I think it's worthy of being in the top 10. But yeah, for me, that middle part really kind of turned me off from the movie for a bit. But you obviously liked it a lot more than I did. So
I don't know. I think it just sat with me emotionally, and then after we saw it, every other like Oscar movie, I just kept comparing it to Star Is Born.
Sure.
And I was just like, well, but it wasn't as good as A Star Is Born. But it wasn't as good as A Star Is Born because like that ending just like is so good.
Yeah.
And the music is good, and Bradley Cooper and Lady Gaga and Sam. What's his name? Isn't his name Sam? His brother.
It's not Sam Shepard. Is it Sam Shepard? No, it's not Sam Shepard.
The voice, the very deep voice.
Oh God.
I can't think of his name. Anyway,
keep going.
They were all so good.
Somebody in the chat, please tell us why we're stupid. Sam Elliott.
Sam Elliott. I know his first name was Sam. But the performances.
I think Sam Shepard's dead.
Okay.
Go on. I'm sorry.
Like honestly, more Bradley Cooper than Lady Gaga. Like I completely acknowledge that Lady Gaga was great.
Bradley Cooper's better.
But I think Bradley Cooper's better.
I agree.
And like he just killed it. Like it was so good.
He killed it. Wow. Harsh words, Maggie.
Stop. And that's the thing too, is like I know this is the 4th remake of this movie, but I didn't know how it was gonna end. All I knew was Tim's grandma said, well, it doesn't turn out well for him. That's all I knew about how it was gonna go. So it's like, oh, they're gonna like break up or something and she's gonna be happy and he's not. Obviously, that's not how it goes. Not going to say how it ends.
It's kind of how it goes. He's not very happy when it ends.
Well, correct. But it was just really, really heartfelt, really intense. It just captured me emotionally. The scene towards the end when Lady Gaga is smashing all the posters and then Sam Elliott has his acting moment. Well, one of his big moments in the movie. That scene just, like, sticks with me.
Yeah.
Like, so much.
The performances are really why you go. The music is
so good.
The music is very good. There, the opening song, like the "Right all alone by the wayside," like that is. Oh yeah, I love that. And we got to see it on a huge screen with a Dolby Atmos sound, and the music just powering through there really, really helped. And the final song in the movie is just. Mm-hmm. Oof.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Star Is Born is good. I don't think anyone's questioning that. But you obviously liked it a lot more than I did. Still made my top 10. I feel like it's probably going to win Best Picture.
I was going to say, are you going to be sad if it wins? Or are you going to be okay with it?
No, I'll be okay with that.
Right.
Yeah, I'd be fine with that. There's something I want to win more, but it's probably not gonna. So yeah, okay. So Stars Born was your number 4. My number 4 is another movie that's not gonna be on your list, but like the first 3 of yours weren't on mine. So we just watched this movie today. Mm-hmm. So my number 4 is mid-90s. Is it on your list? No. I love mid-90s. I don't know. I relate a lot in a weird way, but also like not exactly like not the same way. I relate to the main character a lot. Granted, in the movie, I believe the kid's like supposed to be 11 or 12, and I'm like a 23-year-old dude. So like very different, but just in certain aspects, I related a lot to the movie. I thought Jonah Hill did a crazy good job directing his directorial debut. All the performances, I thought Lucas Hedges was really good. Catherine Waterston is in the movie a little bit. She's good too. But Sonny Suljic as this main kid, they call him Sunburn in the movie. I thought he was just excellent, and the rest of the gang is really good as well. I really like mid-90s.
Yeah. I liked it more than I thought I was going to be completely honest.
Yeah.
For some reason, because I've been thinking about this movie a lot recently, it reminded me a lot of the Florida Project. And the more I think about the Florida Project, I like it. Where it's just like this look at like childhood kind of, and like the things that they go through without realizing necessarily that they're going through. And I really liked the relationship between the Sunburn and then Ray. Right? Was it Ray?
Yeah, the like leader.
Yeah, the leader of the group. Like towards the end, I thought that relationship was really solid. And even between Lucas Hedges and him, the end part with them, I thought that was solid. I don't know. I really liked the end. To be completely honest.
Yeah, the movie it packs a punch. The movie's 85 minutes, so it's if you haven't seen it, it's out on Blu-ray now. Please check it out because not enough people saw it in the theater. But it packs an emotional punch. I'd say the last 20 minutes are the most emotional parts of the movie. And there's a scene between Lucas Hedges and Sonny Suljic where he comes home drunk and then they're chasing around the house. And like I get like choked up each time because it's just like I've been there with like siblings and stuff. So like it really hit a moment or a chord with me. And like, I think the movie's fantastic. From the moment I saw it, I thought it was going to be my number 1, but upon revisiting and looking at my list, there were 3 other movies that are just better. So, yeah. Mid-90s, my number 4. Your number 3, madam.
Avengers. Is it too low? Is that where you're at?
My number 3. Okay. We're going to punt, technically.
Okay. That's fine.
Technically, we should punt.
All right.
I will say, though, my top 3 was really hard.
My top 4 was, like, hard. Like, I just, like, really, you could put them in any order, and I would be okay.
I have a feeling our top 3 are the same.
Yeah.
And that our 1 and 3 are the same, but flipped.
Yep. I saw your list.
Because my number 3 is Mission Impossible Fallout.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
So is that a punt I hear?
Yes.
So is our number 2 the same?
Green Book.
Green Book. Yay! I love Green Book.
Me too. It was a good movie. It was good. Viggo Mortensen and Mahershala Ali just knock it out of the park. And we've been watching some of the like roundtables. I think it was Hollywood Reporter and Vogue have been doing like those Oscar video things that they do.
Yep.
And just listening to them talk about making of the movie, it's just so cute.
Yeah.
Like,
well, and like getting this out of the way, there was that controversy because I guess I've never seen the video, so I can't speak to it 100%. But from what I understand, Viggo said the N-word, which is not okay. But I know he apologized. Mahershala accepted his apology. I don't think it definitely, from what I understand, wasn't meant in like he didn't know what he was saying. From what I gathered, he wasn't saying it like at anybody. He was kind of talking about the movie and then just like use the word again, not okay. But I think everything's okay with that. So, but people are talking about this controversy. Put that aside. The movie is just a feel-good movie.
It really is. And the story is super powerful, obviously. with what Mahershala Ali's character goes through this tour through the South, and how Vigo also grows. His character grows through this journey, and yeah, I just think that it's very feel good. The end just like makes your heart like fill up with joy.
Yeah,
and yeah. It was good.
Green Book,
Very
yeah.
good.
I mean, I think a lot of people talk about how it's a watered down like version of the story, and that it wasn't like as drama filled as it could be, and it was played for laughs and stuff. But I thought it was perfect the way they handled it. I think the way they handled the story was wonderful, and like you said, Vigo and Mahershala are both great. They're both lead actors, by the way, though. They're none of this supporting actor nonsense for Mahershala. I understand why they're doing it that way for the awards season, but they're both lead actors in this movie, and they're both excellent. But the supporting cast, too, Linda Cardellini as the wife of Vigo's character, and she's great.
The two other musicians that are with them on the tour.
They're funny. Yeah, they're fun. And the movie is it's just the best feel good movie of the year. It was one of those, like, as soon as we walked out of it, I was just like, yeah, that's gonna be in my top 3 or 4. Like, I really enjoyed it. It almost made my number 1, but alas, it is not my number 1. Should we go on?
Sure.
Talk about these 2 movies?
Yeah.
All right, here's the deal. Which this moment comes in a man's life where he has to choose between Tom Cruise breaking his body to entertain us, and also choose between 77 superheroes fighting a giant purple alien.
Yeah.
And
that's what it came down to.
When it came down to it, I decided I can't have both of these movies at 1 and 2. I'm going to push Green Book to number 2, and I'm going to split them up. And when I think about which one, in the end, I'm going to watch more, it's going to be Avengers.
I know. And I get that, but the reason that I put Mission Impossible first is because Mission Impossible is a better movie. Like, objectively, I would say Mission Impossible is a better movie.
Shots fired by Maggie.
I'm just saying.
I don't know.
Because I don't think that a normal person, because here's the problem with Avengers.
Okay, tell me about it.
I love the movie, gonna watch it all the time, thoroughly enjoyed it, probably like in my heart of hearts favorite movie of the year. But the thing with Mission Impossible is I came out of Mission Impossible maybe just a tiny bit less excited than I came out of Avengers, because I love obviously the Mission Impossible franchise so much, and this movie was so good, and I was so tense the entire time, but like in a really fun kind of way.
Yeah.
And I feel like you can watch this Mission Impossible movie without seeing any of the other Mission Impossible movies.
That's where I disagree with you.
Really?
Yeah.
And you can still enjoy it for an action movie. But with Avengers, you have to have seen at least 1 or 1 to 5
I agree with you.
MCU movies.
For the Avengers. So for Mission Impossible, the reason I disagree with you, the villain of the movie is the villain from the last one. You really, really should see 3 and 5. Yeah. 4 is kind of like 4 has some connections, but 3 and 5 for sure.
That's true.
There's a lot of connections to 5.
But somebody could watch Mission Impossible not seeing those other ones and still enjoy the movie
and be able to figure it out.
Yeah. Where Avengers is not like that.
Agreed.
You have to know what's going on.
Again, and like you said, in my heart of hearts, these movies are probably both my number 1. If I could choose 2, I would. But again, it goes back to the already Avengers has been on Blu-ray since August.
Watched it so many times.
We've watched it so many times. And I haven't gotten bored of it yet.
I mean, I fall asleep almost every time, but that's because we watch it right before bed usually.
That's true. But I love it. There's so many moments,
but they're only like that because you're invested in the
But that should not matter, my friend, to us, because we've seen them.
I guess.
In the same way that The Force Awakens was our number 1, granted a little different. That's the 7th movie versus the 20th, but I think both movies are. We can agree they're the best 2 action movies of the year.
Oh, definitely.
Mission Impossible.
I would say in general they're the best 2 movies of the year.
Yeah. And Green Book.
Well, and Green Book, right.
It really is those three, are a tie for me. Again, the reason I went Avengers #1, I just have more invested. I love the characters more. And don't get me wrong, love Ethan Hunt. Love MIS. This is the 6th, right? Yeah. So Fallout. I think overall, though, Avengers just hits me more. And I'm going to be honest, too. I kind of like Mission Impossible 5 more than 6. Yeah. Again, still love 6, but I think I like 5 just a little more than 6. And so to me, just Infinity War is everything. Like it's everything. There were so many expectations, and they were met.
Yeah. I agree.
Subverted but met, and so I really really love Avengers. But again, really loved Mission Impossible as well. Yeah. So I understand why it's your #1. And I think you can understand why Avengers is mine. So
yeah. The other thing is that they're both super long.
I think they're both the same. I think they're both 150
But when I
minutes.
watch Mission Impossible, I don't feel it as much as I feel it when we watch Avengers.
Oh, see, I'm actually the opposite on that too. Avengers goes by like that for me now at this point. There's no slow part of that movie. Not that I feel like there is a slow part Mission Impossible, but Mission Impossible I do feel the length in that movie.
Well, and the other thing too for me in picking Mission Impossible over Avengers, I know this is like a weird small nitpicky thing, is that the action moments in Avengers are awesome. Like when Thor arrives in Wakanda, I lose my mind. I lose my mind every single time.
Yeah.
But that's also completely CGI, where nearly all of the action.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Is real, and it's not just like like the stunts by themselves are amazing, but Tom Cruise doing them is amazing. And like when watching all of the bonus features on Mission Impossible, it was just so cool, and it was crazy to just see how much work they put into it and how amazing it turned out.
And I think we are agreeing with each other, but it sounds like we're arguing because because like when you said that you think Mission Impossible is the better made movie, the reason that you're saying Mission Impossible is the better made movie are kind of the same reasons that I'm saying Avengers is the better made movie, because Avengers has to fit 19 or 18 movies worth of stuff and characters and plot lines, and expects into a 2.5-hour movie. And as an audience member, you want every character to have their moment. So you want Star-Lord to have a moment, you want Gamora to have a moment, you want Rocket and Groot to have a moment, then you want Iron Man, and you want Thor, and you want Cap to have a moment, and you also want the Hulk to have a moment, and you want Loki to have a moment, so on and so on and so on. And even if one of your characters doesn't get as big of a moment as the other one, then you're going to get a little pissed. And they balanced it all so well in Avengers that like almost like perfectly. Minus we could have gotten more Cap, but
not even mad.
Not even mad about it though at this point.
And like Endgame is my most anticipated movie. Well, other than maybe Episode 9, but like
we should do that video.
We should. But. Yeah, I mean, they're both really good.
Yeah, no complaints here.
They did all of the things, and yeah.
Yeah, Mission Impossible is good, Avengers is good, Green Book is good. All the movies we talked about today are pretty good. Yeah. So anyway, guys, those are our top 10s of the year. 2018 is over. Yippee! Because like we said,
lots 2018 of good stuff coming in 2019.
2019 has a lot of good stuff. And 2018 was just kind of okay overall, minus those few. So just going through our lists again, my number 10, If Beale Street Could Talk, Ralph Breaks the Internet, A Star is Born, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, Vox Lux, Thoroughbreds, Mid-90s, Mission Impossible Fallout, Green Book, and Avengers Infinity War.
And my number 10, Miseducation of Cameron Post. Number 9, Halloween. Number 8, Annihilation. Number 7, If Beale Street Could Talk. Number 6, Black Klansman. Number 5, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. 4, A Star is Born. 3, Avengers. 2, Green Book. And 1, Mission Impossible Fallout.
Yeah. I'm also now going to talk about my honorable mentions. How many do you have?
5.
Okay, because I have like 20.
Okay. Well, I have other ones. I just kept it to 15.
Okay, so my honorable mentions, which again, I have like 20 of them, but I feel like they are worth mentioning. Incredibles 2, Searching, Juliet Naked.
I have that.
American Animals.
Yeah, that was good.
Sicario, Day of the Soldado.
You're wrong.
3 Identical Strangers. Instant Family. Surprisingly good.
Yeah.
Suspiria. A Quiet Place.
Yes.
You Were Never Really Here.
Yes.
Ready Player One. And then Annihilation, Miseducation of Cameron Post, and Halloween, all movies you talked about. Creed 2, Upgrade, Bad Times at the El Royale, Bohemian Rhapsody, Overlord, and then the movie that just got edged out of my top 10 is 8th Grade.
Wow. Yeah. I'm surprised you didn't have a favorite in there.
The favorite I have as number 35 on my ranked list. So
interesting. Yeah, so I have 8th Grade as well, also number 11. And then I have Juliet Naked. That movie was awesome.
Yeah.
Isle of Dogs.
Okay.
And then the movie we saw yesterday, On the Basis of Sex, because it's, if you know anything about
review coming out later tonight.
Yeah, if you know anything about me, it hit me in all the right places. And then the favorite is the other one. But then I also, one you didn't say was Love, Simon. That one was really good too. Yeah,
Love, Simon was good. Also, another one that probably should have been number 1 for you was Solo, a Star Wars story.
No.
You loved that movie, right? Not. What about Ant-Man and the Wasp?
It was fine.
Aquaman?
I liked Aquaman.
Beautiful Boy?
Yeah.
It's just a lot of meh movies this year. Paddington 2 was pretty good. Oh, you didn't see The Wife?
I don't know.
The Mule? Crazy Rich Asians?
Yeah, that was a good one.
Not a lot of love for First Man. We didn't even talk about Jurassic World, Fallen Kingdom. Did you think about putting it in your top 10? No. Okay. But you loved it.
I did. Yes.
Anyway, guys. All right. So those are our top 10s of the year and our honorable mentions. Have we offended you with any of our choices? Are you upset that your favorite movie of the year was not in our list? Please let us know. Like we said, a lot of really good movies, but also a lot of meh movies and a lot of bad movies this year. So let us know what you thought about all of the movies that came out this year and what you're looking forward to in 2019. Like Maggie said, there's a lot coming. We've got Star Wars Episode 9 as well as Avengers Endgame, but then we've got Toy Story 4 and Aladdin and Lion King and Dumbo and Disney's taking over the world and Captain Marvel. Yeah. But then stuff like Shazam.
Right.
Should we be excited for Shazam?
Yes.
So there's a lot of stuff coming out in 2019. Hopefully, it'll be a good year. Hopefully, I hope so. So thanks as always for watching, guys. Like I said, be sure to comment. Let us know what you think about this episode of Tim and Maggie Talk Movies and what the next topic should be. The Oscar nominations are coming very soon. So we will do an episode for sure about that, about what we think about the stuff that gets nominated and who our projected winners will be for those awards. Maggie, anything else you want to add?
No.
All right. Well, you can check us out always here at Tim Loves Movies on YouTube. But then our Twitter and Letterboxd links are in the bio below. So be sure to check those out and follow us both on Twitter and Letterboxd. So thanks as always for watching, guys. And until next time, have a good one.